in such a good condition and a good state. Our committee this year is also somewhat recycled, but they're a terrific lot, and we will all work hard, well, hardish, to extend the reach of Sid Einfeld unit. I've worked with almost everyone before, and they're a great team. We all have the best interests of B'nai Brith at heart. There are a couple of things I want to concentrate on in the coming term. One is to encourage some of our members who seem to have become book members to actually come to functions. So I want to especially welcome our new members who have joined today and to encourage them to participate. I promise that the more you come, the more you like it. But Brith has a wonderful history of lofty ideals and actions it undertakes, which I hope you'll read about in the pamphlets and the book history of B'nai Brith that you received in your envelopes. But at the end of the day, it's the people who make an organisation, especially a voluntary one, worthwhile. There are so many varied activities within B'nai Brith which you can participate. 6 days a week might not be quite enough. In recent months, I have found a second calling in B'nai Brith. Don't ask what the first one was. Working at the bargain bazaar, unloading all the goods and chattels that are donated to the shop. And I find it quite thrilling to occasionally come upon a really precious object that Steve and I can then research on the internet for its current value, and then we price it and then it's sold in the shop. I mean, did you know cigarette tins from 50 years ago are now collectibles? I mean, it's amazing stuff. Cigarette tins,
No, you haven't seen one for 80 years.
I'm sorry? Have you got some at home?
No, I said I haven't seen one for 80 years.
Well, that's right. That's right. My other objective for this term will be to introduce some new technology into our communication system, which Hansi sort of dealt with. So you may have seen the link to YouTube in the newsletter, to the interview Robbie Erdos did with Brenda Finkelstein and Richard Lewis. So if you do happen to miss a special meeting, you can catch up on YouTube if it happens to be recorded. I'm also hoping to send SMSs to remind people of time and place of meetings, that is, as soon as I learned how to do it. or am taught how to do it by my trusty son-in-law Jason, who's going to do the video for us. And I'm also, as Hansi mentioned, we were the first unit in B'nai Brith to use a credit card system. Thank you to Henry Goodman, who went to the bank and made it all happen. And for quite a long time, I know we were the only unit who received the credit card payment, so every unit had to, accept payments through us, and it was a nightmare for the treasurers, Yvonne and Henry, to reconcile the monies that were coming in. Here we are, senior citizens, not exactly at the cutting edge, but perhaps the blunt edge of technology. In the coming months, we will have some interesting speakers. One will be Professor John Eisman, who's on the board of the new organisation called OzMed. The object of the organisation is for people in the medical field in Australia to work cooperatively with research and development teams in Israel to treat some of the terrible diseases of our modern age. B'nai Brith Sydney Masada has provided some of the seed money to get this project off the ground. So I'm really looking forward to his coming and talking to B'nai Brith. The other function that also fortuitously falls on our meeting night will be an address by the South African High Commissioner. I'm sorry I can't even make a stab at pronouncing her name. They're almost all consonants and no vowels. So I hope we'll be able to invite members of the South African community and also the rest of the community to come and hear her speak. This in turn will give us the opportunity to showcase B'nai Brith and the welcoming members of Sid Einfeld unit. With my district hat on, I'm very aware of our declining membership base, and there is no doubt it's hard to attract members and to encourage involvement. At this stage in our life, we all have new duties as grandparents, as children with aging parents, or occasionally taking well-deserved holidays. But in the times in between, it's good to find some time to join some of the fantastic activities that we have on offer. From talks, walks, movie nights, game nights, book club, benevolence activities, you name it, we do it. Of course, it's not only St. Einfeld, but Brith in general, that also has so many and varied activities. We've just had the Jewish Day of Culture and Heritage, there's Courage to Care, and tonight we have the Human Rights Address with Professor Charlie Teo, and that's just mentioning a few of the events on offer. The executive and members of St. Einfeld play a very vital role in B'nai Brith, as Hansi has talked about and Michael has also talked about. And our members are leading almost all the vital projects within this organisation. So we have a lot to be proud of. Now, at the end of one's term in office, it's customary to thank your family for all the help that they've given you. But I'd like to do this a little bit differently and thank my family ahead. And to thank Steve and Jason and Lucy and my mum. Now for the help and support that I know that they're going to give me. I know I couldn't really do it without them. I couldn't. Although the executive and I have been in our roles before, we will all endeavour to improve attendances and continue our work for the betterment of St. Einfeld and B'nai Brith. I sincerely hope that we will have a healthy and successful year ahead of us.